shot. Ah!
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live at Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome back, finally, to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, and my not-so-sleepy co-host for once, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
I'm sleepy.
Oh, you still sleepy? Well,
I'm sleepy.
at least this week when I texted you at halftime to say, hey, it's probably going to be this time, you responded. So that... I had a good feeling about tonight.
Yeah.
How you been, man? It's been a couple weeks.
Technical difficulties last week.
Yeah, Technically, you fell asleep. And you set that alarm for like 11:30 instead of 10:30 or some shit.
Who knows?
Who knows? I also realized that I had to turn my mic back down after I hit the showers because it was the only way I could be fucking heard on that goddamn show.
Right.
Gotta get it. I mean, it's a good show, man. It's a great panel, but you got a couple of folks that need to stop talking over people.
Yeah.
And that's just getting people together,
Right. We had some conversations.
So. But I mean, overall, that was a fun show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
So how was your week?
Over. Yeah, that sums it up. Over.
No, I get you.
Behind me.
Well, not to humble brag.
Humble brag.
I'm gonna explain my work week. So I get a phone call from my boss at 6:00 on Monday after practice, telling me that she has a big opportunity for me. She explains the situation. She explains what this opportunity is. And I look at her and I'm like,
You stripping at a bachelorette party.
Right. Nah. I do that before I wanted to do this. So she tells me about it, and I tell her for the first time in my career, or first time since reporting to her, like, I don't know. Like, I gotta sleep on this. I gotta think about it. And she's shocked because usually she and I are on the same page and I can anticipate what she's going to ask me. This shit came out of left field. And so she's surprised by that. She's like, I wouldn't have taken you for a processor. And I'm like, nah, that's because usually I'm ahead of you, or at least on the same page with you. So she tells me, all right, go ahead and take the night to think about it. But I need an answer by 9:30 tomorrow morning. So basically, we have the biggest project our company has ever undertaken, and shit is not going well. They've spent a year and a half not doing a good job with it.
Right.
And they want me to step in and run it. And it is a good opportunity and all that, but I'll tell you how bad it is. I got the raise for taking it, not for completing it. I got a raise this week, so this ends in a good story. Got a raise this week, but the situation is so bad that they gave me the raise before I fixed the shit. They gave me a preemptive raise, like, don't quit on us. Damn.
I mean, at least they got out ahead of the situation.
They did. And I trust her, man. When it comes to that kind of stuff, she's always done right by me. So it really wasn't that much of a concern. But nah, it's big visibility. And I looked at her and I'm like, by this time next year, I am either a vice president or I'm looking for a job. And I might be looking for a job because the shit failed miserably. So we'll see.
Well.
So that was my week.
Shoot.
Lawyer shit. And I mean, that was the nice thing. I thought about it. I'm like, well, now I can afford to get a divorce, I guess.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
That hourly rate's a bitch, man. So yeah, that was the week. And then at least tonight we got the dub after we were fucking up the whole first half. We really weren't, but
who'd y'all play?
We played Bexley. So I want to win. Nah, their only touchdown, they needed like 80 yards worth of penalties on a single drive to get their only score. So, I mean, we gave it to them. Actually, we earned probably half those penalties.
Right.
The other half were kind of bullshit. But, I mean, what's she going to do? Coaching at the black school against, Bexley.
It was at Bexley?
Nah, it was at home, but that's always worse, man. I don't know why. And, it's not the only place I've been where that's the case. Like, St. Charles was that way, too.
For real?
We got homered at home so much more often than we did on the road. But we got our shit together. We handled our business in the second half. I don't think we gave up another score. So I think it was like, I don't know, 35-7, something like that.
Oh, okay.
We got the dub.
Does Bexley have an all right team this year?
I mean, they had 2 wins coming in, so they're not as bad as maybe they've been in the past. But
Right. I
got to see, and shout out to Shane who's in the chat because I did get to see friend of the show Shane.
Oh yeah, does he coach
for them? I know he coaches. He coaches the young guys, and yes, I'm pretty sure he's still the head track coach. I'm sure he'll remind me. And he said it was 34-7, not 30. It was 34-7, not 35-7. He corrected me. But I told Shane that if he's up for it, he's more than welcome to hop on. We'll get the food truck edition going, all that fun stuff.
Right. So. Yeah, I can get a full 5 on him.
I did tell him there might be some shit talking at the beginning, so maybe wait a minute.
Y'all gave him.
He's letting me know we missed the first kick.
Right.
Actually, we didn't miss the kick. They blocked it. I'll give them credit. They blocked it. I mean, it was low as shit, but they blocked it. Oh, man. You got any inadvertence to get us going?
Let's do the inadvertent in the middle.
In the middle? Well, that's going to be interesting because we don't have any fucking topics, so.
No topics.
I mean, we could talk about shit that has happened over the last 2 weeks, like
COVID and shit.
Right. Right. I mean, that's kind of what it is right now, man. Like, it's getting close to what we talked about. Like, companies are allowed to start requiring.
Right.
And I mean, allowed to start requiring vaccines for something that, there's only 1 or 2 now. I think there's 2 now that have technically passed FDA approval. I actually had a really good conversation with somebody on my team that, and not football, about, reservations around getting the vaccination. And she was talking about her kids and another young woman that we work with. And it was exactly what we said early on. Like, you don't know what that does in the long term in terms of fertility and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so, I have my own viewpoints on that, but I also respect people that are looking at it from that perspective because honestly, at this point in my life, I don't really care if I have another one. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I can get that from a young woman or the parents of young ladies that are like, in particular. Now, I'm sure, it could be just as devastating to men on the fertility front, but that's a viewpoint that I can at least accept on that front. And you know me, I'm pro-vaccine, I'm pro-listen to science, but I also agree that there isn't enough science at this point. The one that I keep having like fundamental issues with or fundamental questions about is if they try to mandate stuff for schools and under 12.
Right.
Because I don't know that you can do that inside of like a 5 or 10 year window. Like, you've got to be able to understand what the potential side effects are and all that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. I don't even know. I don't even know. I just feel like I never even thought about it from that perspective, and I guess I still kind of feel the same way as before.
Yeah.
Where
we might get bailed out of this, by the way. We might have a guest waiting in the lobby.
Oh yeah. I would definitely enjoy that.
And he's connected. We'll see if he gives us video. What's going on, Shane? And he muted, so we'll see if he's there or not.
Oh shit.
What up?
What's going on, man?
Connection, so I might have to try again.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. If you got to drop, we'll pop you back in. How's your night,
What's
man?
up, folks?
You doing all right?
Yeah. I'm better now.
Right.
Fools agree on that one. Dude, how do we throw up 100 yards of penalty? Like, we had 170 yards of penalties tonight, man.
Your left defensive end was jumping off sides a lot.
Was it the end or was it the outside backer? Because the outside backer was the guy that 8 was the one coming off the edge, but was 5 doing it too? Because 5's my boy.
For me, as a middle school coach, when I'm just going up into the booth to help the staff, it's the guy on the end. So
I got you. I think it was our outside backer because I'm pretty sure he's the one that got flagged like 12 times in a row. And how do we?
It was 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and then how do we run into the kicker and then rough him the next one?
It should have been, in my unbiased opinion, it should have been roughing twice.
I mean,
they took his leg out the first time.
I thought the first time he kind of got.
It is. Like, those refs were terrible. Like,
you
feel like you get homered at home, we get homered at home too.
Nah, I feel you. And it was worse. I will say this: it was worse at SC, but I still feel like that's what we doing.
When I was on the Bexley staff, like as a varsity staff, I felt like we would be at home and they talked to us like we were dogs sometimes.
I mean, tonight felt like we took the black school outside of the outer belt. That's what it felt like tonight. So I don't know.
Sometimes I think the refs take pity on teams too. Like, you're just slapping them.
Well,
we got to call something here.
And I can agree with that in the second half. The first half, it was a little ridiculous, but I don't know.
Well, the first half, whenever you wanted to run, you ran.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe we should have done that a little bit more. Hope Jeff's listening.
You hope who's listening?
Life is
Jeff,
a coach.
our OC.
Okay.
I know Luke wants to run the ball more. The other friend of the show. So what's going on, Shane? How you been, man?
I'm all right, man. Just trying to, I've had a season of firsts.
Okay.
First time we got beat by 66 points. First time a team took 3 knees and then ran for a touchdown. And first time I had 2 broken wrists in one game. And that was just our first game.
Damn. Dude.
So that that's middle school ball for you when a lot of kids don't play until they get to middle school for us.
Right.
I get that.
And then we had to forfeit at halftime against Whitehall.
Did that really happen? I hadn't heard
two other quarterbacks got hurt. Yeah.
Jeez, dude. That's rough. That's rough. You hanging in there, though? You all right?
I wake up every morning, so I'm good.
There you go. That's a positive outlook.
He's about to hop behind center himself. He said, "Oh, I can't do that."
I had a kid who was almost taking a knee to finish the half to take a snap. It was the most incredible thing I had hoped to never see.
Yeah,
it was just like the most uncoordinated thing ever. And it sucked too because I played for Casey, right? And then I coached Ben and a couple kids on the staff, and I was like, I had to walk over there at half like, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's So what's your plan now? Like, it sounds like you went through what, 4 quarterbacks?
5.
So do you have someone else that you plan on putting there, or is your season?
No, the season's not done. We're trying. But again, when you only get about an hour and a half a day to practice, it's difficult to get people to learn what everybody else has to do.
Right.
Quarterback, if you're a wide receiver, you're just like, oh, I'm running 696 fade. I have the fade routes. When you're the quarterback, I'm running 696 fade. That means I got to run. I got a 6 route, I got a 9, and I got another 6. And I'm rolling to the right. What do I do?
Right.
So,
I mean, shit, we can't get our varsity quarterbacks to go through their progression, so.
It's one or run, right?
It's scramble and hope somebody gets open. That's how we run shit.
Or scramble, break tackle, break tackle, break tackle. Okay.
We went through that with Watterson last week, so I would have sympathy, but not after that shit. I mean, we gave up. Honestly, all right. So recap the Watterson game since we didn't talk about it last week. We score on the first play of the game. First play from scrimmage, anyways.
Yep. Gets
called back because of a block in the back, because that's what we do. As you know, Shane, you probably witnessed a couple of those tonight. They take it back down the field. They score. They kick the onside kick. They recover it. They score.
They kick the onside kick like early.
Early, like after their first, or like 6 minutes into the first quarter. And so they get it, and then they score again because the defense is exhausted because they just were on the field for an entire drive, the length of the field, the series before. And then we start playing ball a little bit, and I think at this point it's 21-7. Our offense is driving the field with 90 seconds to go, straight up 2-minute drill, no timeouts left, is driving the ball. They throw a pick with 8 seconds left in the half, and they connect on the Hail Mary. I'm sorry, it was 14-7 at that point because we lost that game 21. No, it must have been 14-6 at that point because we lost that game 21-18. Defense didn't give up a first down in the second half, and we couldn't crawl back.
Thank you.
It was a long night. I mean, it was exciting too because the defense was shit, dude. We had 4 or 5 takeaways in that game, and we gave the offense the ball inside the 30 at least 3 times. Terrible.
That was at Watterson?
I mean at Ohio Dominican because that's where they're playing right now. Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
So we had, that one was a little rough, and I mean, we were down our best lineman because he was in COVID protocol, and we had been off for 10 days leading up to that week. So, but what you gonna do? All right, enough about high school football. This ain't the sports show. What else we got, fellas?
This ain't Friday Night Lights.
If I'm allowed, I'm gonna shout out my favorite spot.
Go for it.
I'm just hanging out. If you're in the Bexley area, go ahead and hit up Peking Dynasty. Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere.
All right.
I know that's right.
Always, man.
I know that's right.
Always looking for the spot. Although
Haven't been there in a while.
I'm currently in the AF collection.
Hey, it's reasonably priced too. You can always get something to go.
I mean, I would not have thought that place. So that's a good look.
I never do. I never
always
do.
and forever. It's sad when people think I work here because I'm here so much.
You got a spot. They know you by your name.
All
You're
right.
like,
Oh yeah. I got a
"Shay!"
reserve sign. That's usually my spot, but my wife took it, so I'm just on the other side.
Just on the other side.
He
We're
moved
shooting
away.
each other looks from across the bar.
I mean that I can understand these days.
Like I can get the remote, we can change channels, whatever you want.
Nice.
So yeah, so I'm telling you, if you're on this side of town, man, try it for food. Because I heard you talking about food trucks.
Yeah,
Hey,
true.
You hungry? You hungry? Come through. Look at me. I know how to eat.
I believe you, man. I believe you.
They're putting my sign out and the remote.
Good stuff. Speaking of remotes, I got a Cliff. You'll appreciate this because might mean it's time to bring back Fight Night. I got the HDMI switch box, so I can do like the picture in picture in picture in picture.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. Next time we got UFC and boxing on, we can keep them both on the screen instead of flipping back and forth.
I've got that too, and I use it for NFL Game Pass.
I'm sure.
I
Now
hook it up to my computer and just do 4 screens out of my computer.
there you go.
Yeah, that's a little too advanced for my blood. I'm not savvy enough to know what or how that looks.
It's actually, if I can do it, it's really simple.
I mean, I imagine it was just like that display button on the TV where you just had the smaller box off to the sides.
Well, this one splits it in 4s, so
Yeah.
your TV has 4 different boxes.
Oh, okay.
The only problem I've got right now is that I left the 75-inch screen with the soon-to-be X. So
Just get a projector off of Bexley Buy and Sell.
no, you're not wrong there. I mean, I'll use the projector for outdoor. I got to figure out how I can get that operated inside. The problem is I don't have enough space back from the screen, so
All right.
I'll figure it out.
Just look up if you look it up on Buy and Sell. Just look up the short throw. Ones.
All right. I mean, I'll check it out. We'll try
And
that.
ask C-Mac about our setup, or come by and check out the setup sometime.
Definitely. Once the season's done.
Is it at Peking Dynasty?
It can be. 'Cause I got it like that.
Yeah. What you been watching lately?
Sports,
Well.
film.
Speaking of sports, nah.
That's tomorrow's show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Like I did start watching whatchamacallit, Heels on Stars.
Me too.
What's that?
It's basically a sports
About
drama.
wrestling.
Yeah, it's a sports drama,
Okay.
or it's a sports drama against like a pro wrestling backdrop. Like CM Punk's in it.
Have a good night.
Who else? Mick Foley shows up. I'm sure there are others because I'm only like 3 episodes deep. But I mean, it's cool because
Okay.
it's kind of about like the indies or like this independent federation, and it's these 2 brothers, one who's a face, one who's a heel, and they get into some like real life drama between each other. And I want to say, what is it? Is it the 2nd episode? Maybe it's the 1st episode.
So it's male glow.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, the older brother basically puts the younger brother in a fucking arm bar and almost breaks his arm like in the middle of the ring, like makes him cry kind of shit.
Yeah. I think that was episode 2.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Episode 1 was the lead-in, and episode 2 was the make him cry and make him look like.
Yeah.
It's crazy when they're talking about faces and and being a heel and stuff like all
Go-
the stuff that if you followed wrestling as a kid and you started getting into the in-depth stuff, it's kind of funny.
If you were a smart mark.
Yeah.
Basically, marks are what they call fans, and it's the same thing if you think of a con man, like that's my mark. They call the fans that because, you know, they're buying into whatever storyline or whatever's going on. And I mean, I don't think that's the case anymore. I'm pretty sure, like, versus like the 80s where some people might have thought there was still some realism to it. Pretty much everybody these days knows it's fake and it's just for the action and all that. But back then it was if you were a smart, that means you watched and you like followed the message boards so that you knew like who was jumping ship before who, because you knew what contracts were coming up and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or you knew if somebody was going to turn from face to heel. And
it's funny because I used to go with buddies and watch all the pay-per-views because somebody would get it and you chip in. And like Shawn Michaels was wearing white pants, so you knew he was winning. If he was wearing colors, I already read on the message board he's wearing red, so he's losing. Like, it's so funny. Like, as I look back on it now.
No doubt. Well, that's funny because whatchamacallit is here tomorrow night, I think, or Sunday night is the whatever pay-per-view. Is it Extreme Rules?
Extreme Rules, yeah.
What, WWE?
WWE. So I don't know, man. I mean, from what I've heard, the product's gone way downhill recently. So I actually got don't tell my don't tell my former spouse. Andrew and I were watching it the other day, but we were watching like NXT and that kind of stuff because it's a little cleaner, and it's actually like good wrestling from just an athleticism and storytelling standpoint. So he was digging it, but I had to give up Peacock. I couldn't justify it just for wrestling.
I told you the only thing I know about wrestling right now is that one black girl with the fro.
Is that Nia?
Naomi?
Or Naomi?
Is that who that is? I don't know her name.
She comes out with the glow and dances.
Yep.
Yeah, she's one of the she's one of the Usos' wives.
Is she really?
Yeah. I think she's Jey Uso's wife.
Gotcha.
She's something.
She is something.
She used to be a Funkadelic when that big heavyset dude that does CNN like political talk now. He was a wrestler. She was one of his dancers before that, and then she became a wrestler. See, I follow it a little bit.
See,
maybe
you
a lot.
still follow. You still follow. I ain't mad at you.
She's the Lady Tupac. She's the Lady Tupac of wrestling. Started out with the Digital Underground.
Yep.
She's the J-Lo, if you will.
Oh man, don't go to In Living Color. Come on now. she was a fly girl. You going that far? But never in the front. She was always in the back. She never had a cameo.
Yeah, well, she changed that eventually, didn't she?
Yeah.
That fucking what was it? The Waiting for Tonight video.
Jenny hopped off the block. Ooh. She hopped off the block, baby.
She's
now
body
she's
glitter
Batman
and
point two
and green lights.
Now she's with who?
She's back with Affleck. I call him Batman point two.
Batfleck. I'm trying to think like what so switching gears into that, like anybody seen? Probably not, because I feel like it hasn't been doing all that well. But Shang-Chi.
No, I have not.
No, I was seeing if anybody saw Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings or whatnot.
Is that the one on Disney Plus?
It's not out on Disney Plus. They actually put it in theaters, so I'm with you. Like I'm waiting for it to come to Disney Plus, because I ain't all about that yet. Not quite there yet.
Nah, I was wearing my mask going up to the. Well, you saw me on the field. I had my mask on, so like I'm not going to a theater.
Nah, I hear you. Is there anything else that's coming out? Like, I mean, I'm still waiting for Dune. Stranger Things season 4 should be out soon. Is Ozark coming out? That's the problem, man. We're in like a 3-month dead period where it feels like there's been nothing since what is it? The Suicide Squad.
Well, the neighborhood started back up. I like watching that because I feel like that's like my neighborhood right now.
Okay.
What's the neighborhood?
It's I think it's on CBS with Cedric the Entertainer, and it's like
okay.
It's a white couple, a white family moves into a black neighborhood, and so like it's just hilarious. But it's pretty much my life in reverse when my parents moved into Bexley. So,
so you got love for it.
Yeah, you know. And then I was watching just because I grew up on wrestling, the Dark Side of Wrestling on Vice.
Okay, no, I've heard good things about that. Like that's a docu-series, right?
Yep. And then there's the Dark Side of the 90s, which is really good.
Okay.
On Vice also.
All right.
Like I've been getting into that stuff, but it's all been on demand because when I get home or when I'm doing something, like I can just flip it on and stop.
Nah, I feel you on that. I was so bored that I started to rewatch a Game of Thrones, and then I found out that the HBO Max app, it'll keep playing if you it doesn't stop. So like 3 times I've thrown it on and like, all right, I know I was on season 1 when I turned this off. Apparently I didn't turn off the app because I come back and it's still playing and it's in like season 5. I did that 2 or 3 times and I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore.
That's when I stopped watching because I can't find where I was, and I'm not about to keep watching over
the same episode that I remembered starting.
Right.
And I'm waiting for that Sopranos spinoff to come out.
What is it? The Many Saints of Jersey or something like that.
That sounds
something like
right.
that, yeah.
I actually started because I had watched probably the last 2 seasons of Sopranos because I feel like that's while I was in college and like my housemates all watched it, and I had never seen it from the beginning, so that was one that I started back up, but I know it's a good show, but I couldn't keep it going.
I always fall off of it too for some reason.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like I think it's just because it's all so similar.
Yeah.
You know, like there's only so many different things you can do. And it's just like,
well, and it stays based on what I got through. It feels like it stays pretty grounded, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing in the sense that, you know, I kind of felt that way about Breaking Bad for a minute, but then Breaking Bad would always jump the shark and do something else crazy. I'm not sure that happens in Sopranos. Like
I fell off of Breaking Bad too. I never finished that.
Yeah, I don't
know. You guys, what do y'all think about BMF?
BMF?
Yeah, it's on I forget which one it's on, but it's a Black Mafia family.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, there's
about Big Meech and them.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet, but it's a new series coming on one of the channels.
That might be one we have to look up. That might be one we have to put on the list. I mean, especially right now, just because shit is so dead, man. Like Hollywood is still trying to catch up from COVID, and they're not there yet.
Oh yeah.
Shit, from the looks of it, seems like motherfuckers getting hit again.
True, but I think the difference is that one, I think technology has continued to advance, so they're finding ways around it. Like, and I think I've talked about this on the show previously, but that setup that Disney has for Star Wars, where it's like the big virtual environment, and they can basically put that they use actually a video game engine to like artificially impose different scenes. But the technology has gotten good enough that when they move the camera, the scene moves with it, and so they can do it with like 2 or 3 people on set versus a crew of 20 people or whatever. So they're finding ways to get around it, but that setup at the end of the day, that's probably $1 billion setup too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know nothing about that.
Well, that probably goes because like I got a drone a while ago that can follow one person.
Yeah.
Like you can say follow this person, so I use it on track.
Okay.
And it'll follow one of my runners at the same height. So if I want to see foot strike or how the hips are, So like they've been working on that stuff for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's just the evolution of it all. But like I was like, oh, so I got a drone for however much money, and now it's doing this. Like, I can't wait until they drop more Star Wars stuff.
No doubt.
That shit.
And then,
What was you about to say?
no, I was gonna say, and then they keep breaking these commercials where you're filming whole movies with phones or whatnot. Like we all have technology that was probably like when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, probably like 10 grand worth of stuff.
Right.
And now we have it in our hand every day.
Right.
Well, and I would even take it further than that because, I mean, I'm thinking back to those days and, like, how much, like, a desktop computer costs and how much a video camera costs. Like, that's probably closer to, I mean, if this were based on that technology, that's probably $30,000 worth of shit by the end of the day.
Remember the dial-up sound?
Yeah, you couldn't sneak on the internet back in the day. Wasn't no sneaking on the internet.
No.
You couldn't muffle that bitch with a pillow, I promise you that.
My
And if you did, your asphyxiation game is crazy.
That's always the good running joke is you want to watch, or if you really want to figure someone out, just put them on dial-up for a day and see how they respond.
Rotary phones.
Man. Oh,
Man, here's how crazy it is. Like when I was coaching at Whitehall in the early 2000s, like my boys would get the PlayStation 3 and they'd give me their old PlayStation 2s. So we could have kids go home and watch film because we still had to burn them on DVDs.
On the DVDs,
and nobody had DVD players. So I'd give them a PlayStation 2 with a controller so they could go home and watch it.
Yeah, nope. I mean, shit, I remember we had the DVD tower or the DVD burner tower where you could pop 5 in at a time, and that shit was like revolutionary, and it could copy it.
Yep.
Speaking of which, Mr. Jennings, I found some old backyard wrestling tapes, and I also found an old VCR DVR burner.
What's that?
Meaning I can take old videotapes and burn them to DVD and then rip the DVD.
Oh, for real?
So we're gonna pull some shit up, and there may be some new content for the channel. maybe the time we put Shelby's eye, or maybe it was you.
It was my eye.
Your eye through the chair.
It was my eye. I'm always the one that gets fucked up.
That's because you're always the one that wants to do the dumb shit.
Maybe dumb shit just wants to fuck with me.
Maybe that's it.
And I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer type of guy. What is that? The TV?
Is that me?
Probably.
My bad.
Oh, you
good.
It's probably not the TV.
No, it's probably just background.
My fault.
Oh, you good, dude. I mean, shit, we didn't have anything real to talk about anyways.
I mean, I can keep adding content because like I watched so many Whitehall games this week just to have an idea what I might be looking for. I have anecdotal jokes, but I just don't know how well they go over.
I mean, shit, you probably don't have anything worse than what our staff has said, so I ain't gonna be mad at you.
I think it was. I forget which game. Maybe you guys didn't play Pleasant, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, the Pleasant game, you ran the reverse on play like 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You know us. We just trick plays are like half of our playbook.
Yeah. I thought you were going to fake punt today because I was like, they're on their own 6. It's 3rd and 36. Fake punt. Watch out. Fake punt.
I mean, we wouldn't call it, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't run it.
I'm not going to say the kid's name or number, but he got the reverse, and he went for about 60, and nobody called him, and he leaned at the goal line. And in my head, I was like, but you got third in the league meet in track.
I hope they listening.
I hope not, because I'm going to get fired.
I mean, in fairness, I mean, we have at least one package, if not two, on offense where we've got, I don't remember what place they took, but the team that went to the state in the 4x1, we've got all four of them on the field. So
yeah,
I imagine it's hard to replicate our speed in practice.
No,
but just wait for the block in the back because it's coming.
and one of the fastest kids in the state doesn't even play for Bexley.
That's right, because you guys had the 200-meter winner,
400 meter champ, yeah. But he also was third in the 100 and fifth in the 200 in the state.
That's what it is.
And went there in the 4x4, but somebody pulled their hamstring, so he jogged in the prelims because we didn't need to waste him then.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm like, if I was the head coach, y'all probably would have moved because I would have been every day. Like, can you just come out run a streak every third series so they think we're going to throw it?
I mean, that's what we do with the tall guy and then, number two. So
don't tell your secrets, man. Don't tell your secrets. This is recorded.
I mean, shit, you can watch the film if you're playing us. You're going to have film. I mean, we're not sneaky. Get into the fast guy in space. That's what we do.
When I was an assistant coach at Whitehall and then the assistant track coach, but the sprint coach at Bexley, it would always make me sick each year when we had to play Bexley. But my last year at Whitehall, and no one ever liked my game plan because I would go game plan don't guard that dude, guard that one, make that dude throw. And senior year, that last year, my core group of guys for Bexley, their senior year, they listened to my game plan. So it was make the quarterback throw, don't let him run, don't cover this guy, make this guy mad. And Whitehall, that was their only win that year. And then I had to go to track season. I was like, but let's get to the state meet.
That's a tough act, man, to be in league and do different sports. Like, it's one thing if you're in a different league, like CMAC, coaching at SC and then going and coaching track at Bexley.
But that's the same city. He just didn't know better.
Well, but still, it's different league at least, so you don't see them. Now, I know when I was at St. Charles, we played Bexley a couple times, and I know they played them probably not too long. I don't remember. But that's understandable. But, man, being in the state, that's some balls, Shane.
Well, you know what? So let's be clear. So I graduated in 96, and I started coaching track at Bexley in 97.
Did you?
I was a freshman in college playing football.
And still
when I got out of football, I couldn't get a gig at Bexley for football. So shout out to Kip Kane for hiring me and letting me get on. And I learned a lot of stuff with him in Milan. And I built my resume as a track coach and got the head job for boys at Bexley. And then things fell through at Whitehall, but I got on at Bexley and it's been a blast. But man, you invest in those kids and then you just start kind of puking over now I have to coach against them.
Right. I can imagine, man. I don't know. It was weird for me coaching the last year I did at SC and then 2 seasons later heading over to Whitehall, especially, and we didn't even play them. We scrimmaged them, and that was a lot because we scrimmaged. So my last year at SC was Ray Mel's sophomore year, and so he wasn't starting yet, but he came in at quarterback towards the end of the scrimmage, and he dusted us, he roasted us. But it's different doing that kind of stuff, and I've thought about trying to go back and coach throws, but I don't know that I would do it anywhere but Whitehall at this point. That's probably why I'm not going to coach throws anymore. I almost did. Be clear. I almost did it at SC.
If you want to volunteer, we always could use help.
I'll keep that in mind. If nothing else, just to scout you guys.
Here's the thing. I don't get too many football players. Lacrosse is heavy at Bexley.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, I bet.
That's why I was sitting there tonight thinking, I don't know if my son's playing football, if he's going to Bexley.
Here's the thing.
He's
by the
already
time
there,
your son's
man.
up,
I don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, but by the time he's in high school, like the program's going to get turned around. It's just too many coaches in too few years.
No doubt. I don't know that Golden's the one to turn it around, but
I'm just saying, by the time your son's there, it'll be
you.
turned around.
No, and I get that. And I mean, I've got grievances anytime they decide to go with an old coach based on my previous situation. So,
so yeah, I agree because I lost twice.
Nope. I know you know. I know we've had that talk.
Yep.
What's you gonna do, man? Just keep trying, or give up because I'm done trying to be a head coach at this point.
I never wanted to be one, but I just felt it was what's best for the kids that walked the same halls I did.
And that was the only reason I applied at SC when the job opened after him. So I get it.
We don't need to talk sports. What else you want to talk about? Like,
fuck them kids. He said, "Fuck the kids."
I'm going to a cross country meet tomorrow. What?
I'm going to a soccer game.
A cross country meet. Now you just stand there and watch the trees till they make it back around. Or how does that work? Do you watch it from your car behind them? I don't get it.
So if you really want me to explain it, because for a lazy guy like me, yes, you stand in one spot, you see the kids maybe 2-3 times, but you're visible for those kids. And my voice carries very well. And I have a patented yell that I have, like, that has now moved to college and professional ranks in track and field. But my kids know it's me. So it's all about supporting those kids. I actually think
that is I think that's a requirement for a head track coach, because Gary Aldrich over at CMU, dude, that man could yell like down at WashU. You got the track and field over here, or no, it was at Emory. You got the track over here, and then like behind the tree line, you've got the throw circles, and that man could yell from the middle of the track, and I would hear him while I was throwing. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he was tapped to be the Olympics throws coach.
I yell move, and people's chests vibrate in front of me. They get scared. I've had people jump and look, like, and now you'll just get, like, if you ever go to a collegiate meet or something, you'll hear somebody just yell move, and it's not like move, it's like move.
Right, it's just a boom.
Yeah.
Well, I did manage. So A-Reg has found the Power Rangers on Netflix.
Which one?
The Mighty Morphin Man.
Man,
we got matching costumes for Halloween and everything.
I know that's right.
Not matching, but I'm gonna be the White Ranger. He's gonna be the Red Ranger. I wanted the Green Ranger, but it was out of stock, so I had to go with the White Ranger.
Hey man, I'm gonna be clear. When you go for trick or treat, you better stop by my house. My wife loves trick or treat, and she has the bomb. Like, I get mad because she gets such great candy for the kids, and I never get it. She hides it from me. She's over there now. Like, I hide it.
And that's because in Bexley, you have all the kids like Cliff and I who would come through from the hood and get that good candy.
I'm going trick-or-treating with the homies.
Don't walk through my grass, though, because you will get yelled at.
Well, if you see a grown ass,
got the slingshot walk working.
Well, if you see a grown ass man in a White Ranger costume, just know it's me.
I get like 22 of those.
Right,
I'm right
sure,
on the border.
I'm sure.
I'm calling the police from my house. I'm gonna say, I think it's a couple big White Rangers out there over on there. You need to go look into that. I don't know what that's about. They got masks on. I don't trust them. I think one of them's black under the costume. Come quick! I'm gonna call.
Wait, hold on, man. That's too close to my life.
I was about to say,
Well,
you gotta remember where you're sending them, dude. Like,
well,
be
don't
careful.
be the White Ranger on Halloween. That's all I gotta say. You might fit the description again.
But it's been fun reliving that. Like, it's enjoyable, and he fucking loves it, man. Like, we actually went and raided my mom's house, or Matt's house rather.
Right, I know you still have some.
And we found like this 10-gallon tub of Power Rangers toys.
Your dagger? Did you have the dagger?
I cannot find the dagger to save my life, and it pissed me off. I found the White Ranger saber, but I couldn't find the dagger. But I needed that. Dragon sword.
Right. Didn't the Green Ranger fight the White Ranger?
Same dude, man. Same dude.
I know, but didn't they fight?
They might have, but
I think there was like
there was an evil clone.
yeah, I think it was a clone of him that they had.
I mean, that show did some crazy stuff, so probably. We got all these toys scattered about the office right now, and I just keep looking at them like, I don't even remember this iteration of the Power Rangers. It must have been Max.
Are they gonna make another movie follow up?
Oh, to the one that came out a couple years ago?
That shit was good as hell.
They actually had like 4 or 5 lined up, and I don't know if it got killed because of COVID or if they pulled back on it because it didn't do great, but it did okay.
Listen, that shit was good as hell. It didn't do great because of the timing of it.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't like the kids didn't really know a lot about the Power Rangers.
Well, I mean, I think there are still new iterations of the Power Rangers happening.
But that wasn't right.
Right, but there's no tie back to the original. Like, if they were smart, they would reboot the entire franchise and then do a movie. But, like, because the Power Rangers shows these days, because I think that's actually what he found first, was like, I don't know. It was like Power Rangers Beast or Dino Mo or something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, no, if you're going to watch Power Rangers, we're going to start from the beginning.
Right. Man.
But that's the thing. Like, that's not... While that show was popular when we were growing up, it wasn't the Ninja Turtles. It wasn't Transformers. Like, it's almost like they did that movie like five years too early to hit that perfect like reboot cycle. And then they also, I mean, it was a completely new, I don't know. They would have been better suited to find a way to reboot it. Like we've talked about in the past, do the requel where it's a reboot and a sequel. Kind of like what we were talking about, it was a couple weeks ago, but like Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to do that. We were pitching like a Back to the Future requel. Like there are certain franchises where you could do that. Maybe Power Rangers isn't one of them, but I feel like that's when those kind of things can be successful and catch lightning in a bottle, is when you can tap into the nostalgia factor by bringing back, like they could bring back what's his name, Jason David Frank, the White and Green Ranger,
right?
And that would suck in the old school fans who want to introduce their kids to it. But you have to have that hook back to the original in order for that to be successful.
Right. I mean, I think that there's definitely a lane for it.
I mean, there is. And we talked about it, like, with Back to the Future. If you were going to do that, you'd need Doc and Marty. They wouldn't have to be central characters, but they would have to be in the movie and, like, mentor type things.
You would need the Pink Ranger.
You need Amy Jo Johnson. I mean, I've never complained about Amy Jo Johnson. I ain't seen her lately, but
Bring her back.
I was watching the old ones with Andrew, and I'm like, yeah, I remember why I liked her.
She was something. She was something. They started switching everything all up.
Yeah. You're on mute, Shane, just so you know. Because it looked like you tried to talk twice.
How about Beverly Hills Cop and just make Axel Foley like the police chief now?
Man, I would love if they reboot Beverly Hills Cop. Those are two of Eddie Murphy's best movies.
That and Trading Places. Trade Places again. But now have Eddie with the bet or Dan Aykroyd with a bet.
I can see that. I mean,
I can keep going.
Keep going, man, because we did that. We did the pitch like 2 weeks ago around requels, and we had some good ones, but it's a fun topic. Like, what else could you bring back that was big, kind of while we were coming up, and you could hook people back into because you would have the original character and then bring in new characters to kind of continue your shit.
Lethal Weapon kind of did it with the TV show they had.
That's true, but
yeah,
wasn't that still like a young Riggs and Murtaugh though?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was supposed to be. Well, no, it wasn't supposed to be because he died in it.
Oh, that's right. So that was a straight up reboot.
Yeah, but it was. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah,
I heard good things about it.
I watched it up until he died, and then I just didn't really care to see it. It's not Lethal Weapon anymore,
right?
If it's not Riggs and Murtaugh.
Getting too old for this shit,
you know. So,
what was that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker movie?
The Rush Hours.
Yeah. That could be redone where Jackie Chan is the commissioner.
You went Jackie Chan as the commissioner instead of Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Because there needs to be a Thursday movie where Chris Tucker is Big Perm.
There you go.
I said Thursday, not Friday.
Not Thursday. No, I got you.
Chris Tucker wasn't about to do the Friday after next Friday's last Friday, so he definitely ain't about to do no Thursdays. That motherfucker only does Sundays nowadays.
We can do Thursday.
There you go.
I do Thursday. Nah, I ain't gonna say
it. Hey, I appreciate y'all letting me come on, but my battery's about to die because it's a whole day at school and then this. So,
I feel
business.
All right, Shane. Well, always good to have you stop in, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Take it
I'll
easy.
talk to y'all.
Yeah. Woo! Well, that was good. That was a good way to fill an hour.
Right.
We'll get back to topics once the season's over, man. And hopefully by then there's been some shit that has come out, because right now there is nothing unless I want to go on a deep dive on Star Trek, and I haven't even been following all the shit that's going on there, so I got nothing.
And I don't have any deep dives on anything.
Well, you got any inadvertence? You told me to bring it back at the middle. We're either at the middle or the end. It depends on how your inadvertence go.
I don't know if I came up with anything. Usually something comes to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, this is a late show to begin with. I'm always good with keeping it to about an hour. That's about where we're at. You got anything? Because I'm not sure I do after the last couple of weeks. It's been busy. And busy by choice in a lot of ways.
I think I'm pulling the autopilot move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at least through the weeks.
No, I'm with you. I mean, honestly, like I said, after last week and this week, it's been a lot, but it's good stuff. We'll get back on track. We will.
Right.
It's hard during the season, but we got what we got on. So there you go. That's a start.
Right. That was the target. That was the target goal.
Right. Well, I actually got a question for you. You playing anything good? Because I've got time now, and I'm looking for video games.
Played anything good? You said.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, really, I just been on 2K recently.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm more of a sports guy. Unless I find a game that really catches my eye.
Yeah.
And Xbox hasn't really come out with a good RPG or anything like that that's really made me want to invest.
I mean, honestly, I'm in the same boat in terms of I haven't picked up a Series X at this point because why? Like, there's nothing that's come out that's been built for the platform.
Right.
And right now, I don't even have a TV where it would matter. So
You don't have a 4K TV?
no, I lost that in the separation.
Oh, I thought the one you had was one.
Nah,
the
man,
one that was over there.
Nah, that one that's up top is I mean, that TV's 10, 15 years old.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'll replace it at some point, but probably not until,
Right.
not until bonus cycle.
Right.
But,
Nah, I would get one. I just, too many other things.
nah, I get that. And that reminds me, I got a fresh shipment of True Classic tees. All white. Need you to help me out. Put some shit on there.
I got you.
I'll drop them off sometime.
I got you. But yeah, nah, I'm cooked. I don't know.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, it's hard enough going at 9 or whatever on a Friday night. Going at 10:30 is a little much. So we will attempt at least probably one more of these before the season's over, just to keep us a little on track. I mean, we're at episode 85 right now. We're probably looking at February for episode 100. I don't want to go too much beyond that, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Because we gotta get to at least 100, man.
Man, we gonna keep it pushing.
Any college games on tomorrow that have your attention? I mean, shit, Ohio State's playing fucking Akron or whatever.
Yeah, this like I said, the next 2 weeks are just. But you know what? The way they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised.
They might give something up to Akron. Who the fuck?
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it an actual game.
Right.
But I haven't really looked at anybody else, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I don't know why, I usually wait till the day of and look up to flip through who's on and what and all that.
Well, and even from a fight standpoint, like I feel like the good fights have been bumped, and then
all in October, November.
Yeah, so we'll have to organize some of that just for after Andrew goes to bed, we'll throw on a couple fights. I mean, Notre Dame, Wisconsin looks like it'll be all right. A&M, Arkansas looks like it could be all right. But I mean, outside of that, even like those are the only top 25 matchups. So, none of those moving the needle for me. Maybe Notre Dame, Wisconsin. That might be worth throwing on.
I mean, I might look at it for a minute, but I wouldn't watch the whole game.
No, I'm with you. If it's close in the third or fourth, I might turn it on. All right, man. Well, it has been another week of Do Fools Agree. You got anything to take us out, sir?
Love everybody.
Hey, man, you know what? Love everybody, even those that you don't want to right now.
Right. Love everybody.
All right, man. Well, this has been Do Fools Agree. As always, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch you maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know. Peace out, fools.